Over the past 4 years since I retired from teaching, I've really kind of gotten away from any kind of technology advancement. And so as new innovations have come along, I've kind of fallen by the wayside, if you want to put it that way, I think. So, along with some people that encouraged me to start putting my projects on YouTube, the other motivational factor for me to do the YouTube stuff was to learn, relearn some of the computer technology things that I've fallen behind on or have forgotten. Uh, when I was the district reading specialist, I would attach a video to each of the newsletters that went out monthly. And so I'd put my lessons on computer so that students that were away at away games or, had a basketball thing to go to or whatever, or were sick, they had the options of being able to watch that lesson on video. So, in all honesty, in the last 4 years, kind of forgot how to do that. Have fallen way behind and haven't really got a grasp on all the other technologies out there, the Instagrams, the um, the X, as I think it's now called. Um, I haven't kept up with that stuff. Been so busy just trying to do the projects around me, and I just haven't kept up with it. So that was kind of the other motivational thing. What I want to do this morning with this, or in the next day or two, is we did the roofing project, and I've got a lot of slides on that, and so I want to kind of take time to talk about that and then put the slides in so you kind of see those. So I'm just going to talk quickly through the project. I hired Ryan to come and do the roof, and he had two of his people come and start on it. About 5 minutes into it, the one that was up on the roof starting to rip shingles off started laughing, and I knew it wasn't a good laugh. So what they found is underneath 2 layers of shingles, someone had decided there was a little bow in the roof, okay? And I don't know if that happened because the pillars in the middle sank, or if, I always call these 2-barrel cabins that they put up in the Northwoods. You get some friends together for a Saturday and Sunday and 2 barrels of beer, and you get a building closed in, and the devil in the detail really isn't worried about. And so you've got roofs that have, you know, pitches in them because they were put up by people that don't specialize in building. So, anyways, I got a feeling that's what happened here. I got a feeling somebody over time then bought the building, the cabin, and decided they wanted to make the roof look even. So what they did is they shimmed it every 3 feet. They put a shim in toward the top part of the roof every 3 feet. And then, I think to keep the weight down, they threw 1/2 inch plywood on top of that and some other things. So now what happened was, and then they put another 2 layers of shingles on it basically, and they still didn't get it waterproof. So what happened was the water was running in, and the roof, I'd have people go up there and bounce on it, and they said, yeah, it's solid. You don't have to worry about it. So, after as many years as we've owned it and the people before us owned it, I knew it was about time to replace the roof. And those little, I could see these little swales in there that had me concerned. Um, but like I said, every time somebody went up there, they bounced, oh, it's good, it's fine yet. So, anyways, as we started tearing into it, and I realized I hired a crew to do it. I wasn't going to go up on the roof. That I was first time I was going to kind of wipe my hands of all of this because one, I knew if I did the roof myself, it would take quite a bit of time to tear it off, and I didn't even know that other layers were underneath there. I would have opened it up, and it would have been a nightmare. It would have been absolutely, because it was me, and at that point in time, we can't get contractors at a whim right now. So it would have been me, and it would have been October, and I would have had to try to do this myself. And so I'm very fortunate I was able to get the people that I got, and we were able to get it done because they didn't have a whole lot of time set aside for this. And I get that, right? You know, so I knew it was all hands on deck. So I landed up doing as much helping as I could up on the roof, down below, wherever they needed something. I tried to fill those gaps. So the problems that we ran into, okay, we got water coming in underneath the shingles. So it ran down on the bottom side of where that plywood was, and then the shims ended for the last half of the roof. So the plywood now is sitting right on top of the first layer of shingles, the old roof. So that water, right, is making that, it's getting on the bottom side, the plywood in that bottom third stretch, and it's rotting the plywood. So we hit multiple spots, I'll show you that, where the plywood was just mush, gone. But luckily, actually, that first roof saved us. The water, it kept the water basically from getting in the house. Now, part of this project was we had one of the driest summers on record. During the roof project, of course, it's the Proden principle, same as Murphy's Law, was we had, um, I think it was 8 inches of snow. And we had like 4 inches of rain. It was just wetter than could be. So at one point in time, and the one thing I said from the get go was I don't want any water in the house. Well, the day we got the 4 inches of rain, we got a little bit in the one bedroom and by the sliding door in the living room. And we had already shingled that part. So, and we had they had it set up that it should have prevented the rain, but 4 inches of rain and blowing a little bit, they couldn't totally prevent that. Um, so I landed up. I'll have some pictures of me throwing. I had plastic, 100 feet of 4 mil plastic uh, in on hand. Actually, it's for the basement in here to help vapor barrier the wall before I put the styrofoam against the wall. So, anyways, you'll see those pictures in there. You'll see the pictures of the rotten roof in here inserted. I'm going to try this, okay? And we'll see how it goes. And then we landed up on the south side of the roof. Is on that side, there's 2 bedrooms underneath there. So there's a divider wall in there. And we landed up, we tried to take some of that bow out of the roof with um, Ryan and that they jacked it up. They put 2x8s or two by I don't remember 2x8, 2x10, something on that order. We put in there, doubled that up, and then we had verticals going along and we jacked it up with a car jack to even that side out as much as we could. Now on the north side and the peak, you couldn't do it because underneath there is the living room and it's all wide open, so there's no support wall in there. So we couldn't do that. And taking a look at it, talking to another major roof contractor in the area who came out and looked at it, he said, the majority of the places up here in northern Wisconsin have a little bit of a dip. He went up there, he said it's all sound. He said, unless you want to get into a huge mess here, and you'd have to take your inside ceiling out. Also, you'd basically have to rip this roof off and kind of redo it. He said, I would leave it as is. He said, there's a lot of them up here. And he said, it's sound, I'd leave it as is. So it does have a little bit of a dip in it. We'll live with that. So I'm going to try to kind of put some pictures and little videos in. And this is my new project right now, trying to take that next step in doing this stuff. So I'm going to see if I got an editing mode to this, and I'm going to go in and try to edit it. And otherwise, if I can't edit it, you're not going to see it. But do me this favor, since I'm spending this time on this, hit the like and subscribe button, please. Take care. Have a good day. Go Pack, go.